Welcome back to another episode of the Steebee Weebee Show. We have a very special guest tonight. It's a historical guest. Our first country artist. Please welcome Colton Graves. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you doing?
Thanks
brother?
for coming, man.
Yes,
Wow,
sir.
this is a special night.
Thank you so.
First country musician ever on the Steebee Weebee Show. That's no bullshit.
And it's really weird seeing this from this angle because I'm such a big fan, and I've always
Have you
seen
watched this podcast?
a lot.
Oh, really?
Man. And it's always from that angle. So this is so cool, man.
Yeah. Who are some of the standout guests? Which interviews did you enjoy?
Well, to be honest, my favorite one is when you and your brother just talk.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
Do you have a brother?
When you talk about your dreams.
Yeah, you like that stuff.
Your dreams are my
Yeah.
favorite. Yeah.
People tend to like that. You seen that episode too? Because your friends.
We've seen. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We watch your show.
And then how did we got in contact through Instagram?
Yeah.
You started following me, then I looked at your profile. I'm like, oh, he's a country artist.
Yeah.
And I got excited.
Bottom
and then-
shelf.
No. That let's timestamp that. He's not. He's top shelf. I want to get to your beautiful songwriting. Can we go through history as far as how? Because you're obviously doing well. You're sponsored by Bud Light here, and then you're on a label as well.
Yeah, I'm signed with Sony. Yeah.
So that's not that's top shelf. Signed with Sony.
It's top shelf, but I'm like at the bottom of the top shelf.
Well, we're gonna raise that up after this episode. We're not talking about those other country artists. We're talking about Colton Graves. Okay.
Yes, hello.
How did it all get started? What's your background? How did you even get into music? Where'd you grow up?
So I'm from Sacramento, California.
Shout out to my cousin Eddie. He's up there too.
Oh, you're where? Yeah, nice.
He used to run FTC, I think, on F Street. Like, the
Yeah.
streets are...
The alphabet letters?
Yeah, the alphabets. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm from like more of the country. It's weird where I feel like in California, not a lot of people know this, is like wherever you are in California, it takes like 20 minutes to get out to like country. Like even because you're from SD, right?
Yeah.
Just a small drive and you're in like the boonies, Even here, it's a small drive and you're in like Simi Valley,
Right,
In Sac,
right.
small drive and you're out in like Elk Grove, Folsom, where I'm from, and it's pretty country for sure.
You're near Folsom?
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
So isn't there a prison there, Folsom?
There is, but it's like I'm not sure where it is. I think they're good at
Okay.
really hiding
It's a pretty gnarly one though. Like it's a pretty well known.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's movies
I think
about
Johnny
it. Right?
Cash wrote a
Johnny
song
Cash,
about it.
right? He performed in front of the inmates.
He did.
Yeah.
That dude was so cool.
Oh, dude, come on. Did he inspire you at all? I mean, because that's
We're both half Native American.
you
and
got native in you.
I'm half, yeah.
What? Are you Navajo?
Cherokee.
Cherokee. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom's full.
Your mom's full Native American.
Yeah, but my dad's full Ukrainian, and so as far as the gene battle happened, he won every gene.
Yeah, because
I just
had
look-
no idea.
I just look Australian. Like I do. Like I just do. You
Yeah.
know? Whenever
How did they meet?
They met at Burning Man.
Oh, that's so cool. They met at a festival.
Yeah, so my dad is in the military and he had a little leave, and my mom was like a fire dancer over at Burning Man, and then they,
This is in the 60s or 70s or something.
No, it was in
huh?
the late 80s because the Burning Man didn't start until like 85.
Oh, that showed my age real quick.
Yeah.
So, wow. So they met at a festival, and are they into the same kind of music you are?
My mom is. I mean, she likes it. Well, okay, so I thought my mom was a fan of country music or my music for a long time.
Yeah.
What I'd do is I would like, I would get like a rough recording or something, and I'd send it to her, and she's always like, "Oh my god, like this is like the best." And I'm like, "Thanks,
You got
Mom."
a beautiful voice, man.
Well, thank you.
And we'll
Well,
get to
but
that.
I believe that, right? And so then
Yeah.
I had this one song, and I emailed it to her, and I attached the email, and I sent it to her, and she's like, "Baby, like this is probably your best work yet." And I was like, "Thank you." But then I looked back, and I didn't attach the song,
So she lied.
But then that crushed everything
God.
before that I've probably my foundation of like my songs being good and my mom being like yeah, brother.
This is before you got signed, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Well, a lot of parents, I'll speak on their behalf. Even in the Korean culture, they don't take you seriously unless you start making the dough. Like everything before then, your trajectory, your hard work. Because I remember handing my mom one of my rap CDs, and I remember going back to Arizona years later and going in the garage, and then I saw it still in the shrink wrap.
Yeah.
And so it made me so sad. I was like, oh,
yeah, it made me so
sad.
sad.
She didn't listen.
It was a sad time.
But they don't know any better. They just they react towards money. Yeah. If like I'm sure that she's paying attention now when she's seeing your videos and all that.
I'm just glad that like for my EP, it doesn't have my dad's like quote, because you know how like a good movie or like a show it has like a quote of like New York Times calls it like the best. My dad will be like, "It's fine," and I'm like, "Oh, like fine."
God. Yeah.
Like, come on, Dad.
Were you raised with artists like Bruce Springsteen?
No, I
or
was
Willie
raised,
Nelson.
I was raised on
Garth.
Well, that's the thing. That's the weird thing about Northern California is I was raised by like Sublime.
Holy moly!
And I was raised by like Garth Brooks and like all that crap.
So you like different genres.
Well, yeah, because Northern California, especially Sacramento, is like if you took like a gangster dude and a redneck and like a snowboarder, and then you put that in a blender. That's not Insane Clown Posse. No, that's good. Thank God.
Okay,
oh my God.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you're not. I don't like that.
Okay.
I've heard of them.
I don't understand it either. I just know they wear crazy makeup. I'm not.
I understand they have a good time.
I don't want to start no beef. But
they seem like they're having a good time.
Yeah, it's just
I just don't want to have that time.
I prefer House of Pain over something like that. Because at least because Everlast wrote some blues. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Everlast got into some songwriting like that.
I'm so happy Sid's here. Yeah.
You're a fan of Everlast? Yeah. So he wrote some songs. How did you get into songwriting? Did you start at an early age, like in elementary school? Or
so a funny story is my dad. So my parents got like a divorce, right? And it's the sad violin.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was my dad. There was this like local theater group in L.A. And then there was this like total babe that was doing like the dancing choreography for this show, right?
She was a blondie?
She was.
Okay.
And my dad was...
Because I want to get to that because there's some blondes in your music videos as well.
There is.
Okay. I did my research.
And
Go
so
ahead.
basically he was like, okay, so... Because he's basically like, hey, man, you got to do this play. Because he found out that she had a daughter. And he's like, hey, you got to do this play and befriend her because I'm trying to get to her mom. And I was like my dad's wingman, like number one wingman, right?
You're a kid, though.
So I started doing, I did theater that way, and then they ended up getting married, and that's my stepmom now.
It worked out?
It worked. Well, yeah, my dad's like a straight, like he saw it happen. He's like, okay, but step one was me like joining the play. So then when I got into like the musical stuff, then I started singing and stuff, and then I just didn't want to do theater.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, meh.
When did you know your voice really resonated with a crowd? Because I was listening to your stuff, doing research, and I'm like, whoa, surprisingly, he could go high. He's not like a,
Yeah,
baritone.
I can go pretty high.
A little falsetto, a little higher than, right?
Than the average.
Than the average.
Bear.
Right, and that's a good thing. Because that
I
separates
think so.
you from the rest,
Now,
don't you think?
Yeah, going high is nice.
Yeah. So continue with that.
But like going low is cool too.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, of course.
But that's I think people who aren't familiar, they just think of maybe country singers having more of a deeper voice.
Like,
I like
them doors and turn the lights down low. Like that stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me sweat in here. Holy shit.
But so I started singing and stuff, and then basically it just, I don't know. I guess it just was kind of trash, and it started getting a little better. But
you saw the progress.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all it really took was after songwriting and stuff and being in high school.
What high school you go to?
I went to Rio Americano High School.
Okay.
It's in Sacramento.
Okay.
And I was that guy that would bring the acoustic guitar to the party.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
my arch nemesis, whose name is Colin Bodine.
Is he a country musician?
If he's watching this,
Oh, we'll edit
I'm
him
winning.
out. We'll edit him
I'm
out
winning
real
now.
quick.
But he would like he would bring his guitar to the party, and there'd
be a duel. It'd
Well,
be the
no,
last
because
duel.
he's way better than me. So there's only one, like at like a high school party, there's only like capacity for like one dude with a guitar. Because if there's two and there's like a fire, like then you're like,
Because could that cause friction?
the epitome of
Because
friction.
one person needs to shine. Two dudes can't be at a party. Hey guys.
No, especially if the other guy's better than you, you don't want him there.
Oh, because he's gonna make you look
Or
bad.
with his guitar. If he's there without his guitar, you don't have to give it to him. So
Did you want to break it, dude? Be honest.
Well, yeah, but like, but I didn't have my license, man, and that dude had like a cool Volvo with like a coexist sticker on the back, and I was just like that motherfucker. And like,
So
that was
just,
so I had to work out. So blacked out me at the parties would work. I'd be like, hey man, like obviously I'm here first. Like we have to work out a schedule. If you're coming here with your guitar,
was it like an open mic? Like, did you guys have to talk about it like it was an open mic or something?
was
Like,
just-
hey, I was here first. I signed in first.
yeah, I just couldn't have him there, man.
Yeah.
So, but that's where I mostly practiced was just around a lot of kids on ecstasy in high school, and they're positive.
You know, that's crazy because I went to school with, I always bring up his name, Tom DeLonge from Blink 182.
I love Tom.
And his band, before they got signed, used to perform at local keggers.
I love Tom.
No one paid attention. They'd be in the corner in the backyard and doing it, but then years later,
He's Tom.
he's on MTV. My friends visit me when I was going to Arizona State. They have the CDs, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's
oh,
Tom, man.
He's on MTV.
love
Continue
that
with your
guy.
story, though. We love you, Tom. And not only that, you're always welcome, even though you ignore me and you don't check your DMs. And I even reached out to Rich. I still love you. Shout out to Sean Kitchen, his brother, too. We wrestled on the same team. Go ahead, Colton.
And Tom, I'm totally with you on the alien thing, man. Like they're for sure there, dude. You know,
So you
answer me back too, man.
Do you? No, honestly, Colton. Colton,
yeah,
do you like Blink?
I love Blink.
See, Tom.
I love Angels and Airwaves too.
Or we'll edit that out. Tom, we love you. You're always welcome here on the Steebee Weebee Show.
Yeah, man.
Quit ignoring me. Continue, Colton.
Same. Stop ignoring
Middle
my
school, yeah,
messages
yeah.
from different accounts.
Same middle school too, Tom. You know,
Oh,
I
really?
voted for you. You were a homecoming king, and I voted for you, Tom.
He's
Continue,
Homecoming King.
dude. Everyone loved Tom.
Yeah.
He was cool, a musician, and popular. Because usually it's like, it's like the high school quarterback gets, nominated for that. But he had the best of all worlds, even back then. He
Wait,
was
where
cool.
in SD were you?
Poway, man.
Oh yeah, Poway.
Yeah, Poway
Yeah,
Wrestling,
yeah.
baby. I got to give a shout out to Brandstetter. So this is
Those are your shorts. Those are huge.
No, I went to their facility. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
That's like a.
they have a new
that's
wrestling
like an
facility.
That's an XL.
Yeah, this is there's some native history here.
Yeah, I should know
Parkway.
that.
Yeah. Our
Pow-
house was built
Poway.
on a burial ground. All kinds of
Right, and it's
yeah.
haunted.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
I've heard the
Let's go back to you though. So what'd you do to this guy with the guitar, man?
Well, he just was always. Well, he was my arch nemesis. But the thing about having an arch nemesis is that means that I need to be his, but I wasn't. So it was like this one-way rivalry that he didn't even like. So I ended up kind of practicing more in my room because he would just kill it at parties.
That pushed you. That motivated you.
Yeah, Colin.
How much better was he back then compared to you?
No, so much better. Well, so the thing is like my dad never compliments my stuff. My dad's Ukrainian. Ukrainians don't really.
Yeah. Neither did my dad. Barely went to my matches.
Right.
He went to the county championships, whatever.
The one
Continue.
time he complimented music was when I was playing. I was just like, "Oh, Colin just came out with a new fucking song." I was like, "Fucking!" So I was like playing it for my friends, like, And then my dad walked by and he's just like, "This is good music. You should make stuff more like this." And I was just like, "Oh."
Hey,
That's the biggest kick in the sack.
So he
And I've been kicked in the
he was
sack.
complimenting the other one.
He was like, "This is good. Do stuff like this."
So
Who is this?
So he is basically saying yours is shit. And
no,
this-
mine was always like, "Okay."
Okay.
Like it was always
But
like
he was motivating you, man.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
We'll go with that, Dad.
What's this guy's name? The dude with the other guitar.
Colin Bodine.
So is Colin signed by Sony?
No, he's not.
Is Colin sponsored by Bud fucking Light?
No.
There you go, Colin.
Okay,
He
yeah,
wins.
at last.
Okay, now that's a perfect time for a sponsor.
That made me feel so good.
This podcast, the Steebee Weebee Show, is brought to you by Lucy. It's a great alternative to Grizzly Chew, because this will turn your teeth brown and your gums gray, okay? So if you want to get rid of that, you get this Lucy, okay? They even have their own gum. Nicotine is in it. If you enjoy using nicotine, you should definitely check out Lucy products at lucy.co. That's lucy.co, and use promo code STEEBEE at checkout. I also have to read this as a disclaimer. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, but I love it. Remember, if you're interested in a better way to use nicotine, use Lucy. Visit lucy.co and make sure to use the promo code STEEBEE. I'm going to put one of these bad boys in. This is cool cider.
Hell yeah.
Continue back to your trajectory. I love it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the trajectory.
Yeah, trajectory. Yeah.
So it just started getting better a little after high school. Started trying a little more, and then I was playing a show up in Folsom.
Okay.
And this dude from the label named Aaron Kaplan, love you, Aaron. He heard it and thought it sounded great. And
wait, what kind of gig was this? Open? Like, what is this? A bringer show?
It was at a rodeo. My mom's in the rodeo business.
Your mom's in the rodeo business.
So I grew up in the rodeo business and stuff.
That's interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
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 It's cool. I mean, it's not like. Yeah. I think,
come on, man.
There's like horses, clowns, which are.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the worst part.
Wait, there's clowns at rodeos?
Dude, it's crazy. So
wait a minute. Go ahead. Talk more about the clowns at the rodeo.
So what the clowns do, and these clowns aren't even like trying. They're just like wearing jeans.
They have paint. They have the paint.
Barely.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the sack clowns are like discount clowns. Like they don't even have a car. There's not even like a car that a lot of them come out of.
But why are they there?
So with bullfighting, they'll just get in this angry bull that will just like come out and there's just like, this bull's having a bad day.
Oh.
And then there's this clown that's just in a little barrel, and he's just taunting the bull, and the bull will just come in and just fuck him up.
He's like a matador?
Launch him. Yeah, but he's in a barrel.
So he's a matador he's kind of in a barrel.
He's in a matador minus dodging the. He's just come here.
And he's in a clown outfit.
He's in like a half clown outfit.
Oh my god!
And then the bulls just rail him, dude. And then that's the show. And then then you like bring the bull back. Then people ride him, and then you get like people that try to like rope him, and that's just like this radio.
So this clown, what do you think he gets paid to do that?
Probably in like meth and like beef, beef and meth.
So he gets beer and maybe popcorn.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would assume.
Yeah.
I would assume.
So you were raised around all this stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god! So your mom was at the rodeo, and then when did you start really taking it seriously? Like, I'm gonna write these songs.
It was.
The show. That dude showed up. Go ahead.
But that's the thing, though, is I wasn't really taking it seriously. I was just kind of having fun, because I was at the right place, and Aaron was going up there, and he saw it at a show, and he's like, "Hey man, like this is cool. Do you want to try making some songs down in LA?" And I was like, "Oh, all right."
He happened to be at that show?
Yeah, because he was just up there meeting some friend.
Yeah, and he worked for this label, and he saw your set.
Yeah, and he really liked it.
That's crazy.
Just
the way that was.
Yeah, and so then he had me come down, and it was like, and we made some songs, man, and it didn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
And now I get to make songs with them. And
how did you expand? Because I want to get into your music videos and some of the songs. Okay. How did you expand your band? Because there's other band members in some of your videos.
We got the so as far as getting hooked up with those people, they are way better musicians than me. Okay. I just got to surround myself with these people, right?
They work for the label?
They do.
So they're hired musicians?
Well, they're more of like, he makes a lot of music for the label, and he has his like select team. Yeah. And so then he's like, all right, well, we're going to have this like song that you play on the guitar, and we're going to like surround it with like good music and stuff. And I'm
Was it the guy I met that in the car? That's the guy?
He's one of them.
Oh, he's one of them.
He's part of the team.
Can we shout him out again? The Sony, is it Sony?
Yeah, Sony. Yeah.
Sony, yeah. Thanks
Sony
for
ATV
signing my man here.
Yeah, thank you.
To the label.
Extreme Music
that was
is
a good
their
pick.
specific.
That was a real good pick.
Yeah, it is
it was a good
pick. You guys need a mustache guy on the old team there.
You have some beautiful music videos. Can we talk about the song Higher?
Yeah.
Who is the woman that you're referring to in the white dress, smoking the cigarettes?
So her name's Caroline Scruggs. She's a Miss South Carolina, and she's a real babe.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Give her another shout out.
You're a real babe,
Yeah.
Caroline. Oh my god.
She was a looker, huh?
She's so pretty.
Yeah. He's drinking his beer. He said it on the side of his mouth to drink his beer. Okay, so how did you even get in contact and put her in the music video? I'm just curious.
Just relentless DMs, really.
Really?
Well, it was more like, hey. It was more like, hi. Or it was more
Well, you
like...
got the blue check mark, dude. That
Yeah,
hey, man,
that helps.
That helps.
That,
Come on, dude.
That helps.
That helps, right?
and I was like, hey, you want to be in the music video? She's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, you want to get married and have kids?
Yeah.
She's like, what? I'm like, no, music video.
I thought that was your woman.
Yeah, good. We'll just keep that going.
Okay, so was this a gradual process? Did you have to DM her a bunch, or what happened there?
Okay, well, so my team messaged her and she agreed to do it because she liked the song. She's like, okay, cool. And then,
Legit, dude.
But I actually never met her.
What?
Damn, I shouldn't have said that.
I'll ask you
so
you did.
we can cut.
Yeah, we'll cut that
little-
out.
All right.
Yeah.
So no, we're like
Yeah.
getting pretty serious.
Okay, gotcha.
But they like filmed the whole part of us recording it.
Yeah.
And then the photographer took her out on the beach and had these like sexy shots, you know.
Yeah.
And that was separate.
That's the one in black and white, right? A lot of it's black and white.
And
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and they're like, yeah, we're gonna shoot with her and stuff. I'm like, oh, can I go? And they're like, yeah, no, it's cool, man. We don't need you. I'm like, can I go? And they're like,
Did you have the butterflies?
I had all the butterflies.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go out there. Well, they made it weird. Like they're like, we're fine. But if like I like strolled up, and like she's like I don't know, like what was I gonna do, like in the background, like kind of like mildly sweating and like nodding.
Yeah,
like,
but if she heard
"Looks
your
great."
voice, she'd be melting, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I
you
hope
could write. You
so.
wrote, that's a good song. That's a good song, and it's about her. You added her in the mix.
Yeah.
And that
she
line
really
kind of stood out.
Took
White
it
dress,
home.
a cigarette. Oh, who's he talking about?
I'm glad you like. I can't believe
Yeah.
you know the lyrics to my
Well,
song.
hey man, I do. People say I don't do research, but hey,
It's just unreal.
you know what I mean? Like you were impressed that I knew that. Oh, yeah. So, what inspired that? This is before you met her, though, right? The songwriting.
Yeah. I think I just tried to make a song that sounded pretty chill. The whole thing though is like the band is really good at just making like such a vehicle to write on. And my songs aren't good, but if like I'm just like, all right, well, I have the help of this like, and I write my music and
Yeah,
they
of
elevate
course you
it, but it's like it's there's I can't express enough like how much they made the song good from just like a little idea that I had. So like
What sparked the idea initially?
I don't know, man. For that, I think for that specific song, I just wanted to make. I really like this movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
And I
Was
think
that
it's with George Clooney.
is that a Coen?
It is a Coen Brothers.
Yeah, Coen
movie.
Brothers.
Yeah.
They're
Fantastic.
Great
movie.
directors. Great directors.
So good.
Coen Brothers.
And they have
They did Fargo.
They did Fargo.
I love Fargo.
Raising Arizona.
I love all of it. Love Fargo. Love all of it. Raising Arizona.
They did
Nicolas
the
Cage. Yeah.
No Country for Old
Yeah,
Men.
dude, come on, man. I was gonna ask you about that later on.
Fun fact: that's the
Great freaking movie, dude.
Fantastic. That's one of the only movies that has zero score or soundtrack.
Dude.
That movie has zero music in it.
Such a great movie, dude.
And
I bought that. It's in my library.
That movie has
bought
zero music in that movie, and it won Best Picture.
Dude.
It's
Flawless movie, dude.
it's so silently terrifying.
Oh my god, it is.
I love it.
Who's the bad guy? What's his name again?
Javier Bardem.
Oh
yeah.
my god, that guy's sinister.
He's
when he
so
goes into
good.
that gas station and he's
Oh,
like,
flip the coin?
flip the coin, and that the guy doesn't even know he could die.
That guy's terrified.
Yo,
He was sweating.
no, that guy's story. Do you remember that guy's story? It was kind of passed down to him, like that was his little.
And
business.
he's like, all of your life has come to this moment with this coin toss, because he was about to just like take him out if it was like tails or
But
each of his heads.
that exists. That guy's life exists where you just get handed this business, a gas station
in the middle of nowhere.
in the middle of nowhere,
in
a convenience
Texas.
store, and that's his life.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
this guy is like didn't know that he ran into this psycho
I love that
villain.
movie, man.
Yeah. What else do you like about it? Do you like the story's cool too? Because it's all.
I think Josh Brolin kills it.
Oh my god.
I think it's actually
I
really.
mean,
I think
dude.
what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones.
He kills it too, dude.
And he drinks milk in the
my,
movie.
Yeah.
And I drink milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about yeah. Oh,
I like milk.
okay.
Is that weird? I feel like everyone thinks I'm a serial killer when I say I drink milk.
There. If there's a milk company, hey man, Colton could use another sponsor.
Yeah. Or just or a general cow that wants a sponsorship.
Yeah. Goat milk, maybe too.
Goat from a goat?
Yeah. So any goat milk companies, holler at Colton.
Yeah, any goat really.
Before we go on to your other songs, another thing that stands out, I think we like these movies, those types of movies, because it's about finding money. You just a person running across a treasure or something, or something.
Well, no, because in that movie he went to some Mexican standoff in a cartel.
I know, and then
he did this like tracking of like, all right, that dude is at that tree over there, and that dude was just dead with the money.
Yeah.
But then he had to get like away, obviously.
Have you seen A Simple Plan? Didn't mean to cut you off. A Simple Plan.
No. Who's
Billy Bob Thornton's in it.
I love
Bill Paxton. It's a similar theme where
A Simple Plan
where they find a suitcase filled with money in a like a small mini jet, like a plane in the middle of nowhere, and it's about how the money like changes their relationships and like backstab.
A suitcase full of money.
Yeah.
Like Fargo ends with a suitcase full of money.
That's interesting.
And that's a Coen Brothers
and
movie.
I love movies like that where the theme is money and how it it changes people. Like, you know,
this is such a
turn. There's an evil element that kind of comes up. But continue. I'm sorry. I mean, I love talking movies. I could just talk movies all day.
I like Oh Brother Art Thou, and the thing about their stuff is they have like a real bare bones soundtrack, and they basically don't have any drums, and they have like a lot of banjo and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to make a song that kind of sounded like it
that.
could be
Like a Coen Brothers.
exactly.
Soundscape.
So for No Brother Art Thou. So I just wanted to make a song that sounded like that, and then we got to make it, and it was so fun.
Is John Turturro? Is John in that? John Turturro?
Yeah, he's one of the dudes that escapes with George Clooney.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's
been a while.
He's amazing, dude.
So So higher. The second song I want to bring up is "Smile for Me."
Okay.
Because you have a music video for that.
It's so weird that you know the
Yeah.
songs that I made.
Now, can I guess? Because there's water and boats in the background.
Oh, dude, I was the laziest person.
That's Marina Del Rey, right?
I filmed that in a half-mile radius.
I knew it!
Dude, I filmed that in a half-mile radius of my house.
I knew it, man.
With my girlfriend at the time.
You told me, you're like, hey, I'm over here. I'm like, oh.
In Marina Del Rey, yeah.
So describe to the viewers and listeners, Marina Del Rey it's a night. There's like, there's boats there. I used to
a lot of good old people.
I used to party there. I mean, my
Weird.
friend's parents had a boat, and we drink beers in there, and we'd
Yeah.
we'd piss off the dock. It was fun, yeah. And there was and then it was close enough to Santa Monica too, where
It's right there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got Santa Monica, you got Venice, and you got Marina.
yeah.
The Marina's just like a bunch of older,
Well, there's retired people there,
which are great.
yeah, it's mellow.
No, yeah, I mean they love I don't know what soup. Or yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so do you live on a boat? Like, do you have a boat and like with your?
I wish, man. My first purchase.
That'd be a great
I want to
thing.
buy a jet ski, dude.
Yeah, dude.
How cool is that? Well, because I just have this like vision of like being that guy, like the jet ski guy. Because I looked for him. He's not there, but I think there should be just some cool guy. It's always on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Just mildly going around the marina.
Oh yeah, dude.
Blasting some like.
Can you do a song, a future song with something like that where you incorporate jet skis and then you have
a Kenny Powers jet ski.
Yeah, but you have no
situation.
clothes on. You're basically half naked, just with your cowboy hat, and you're like
in a
Speedo.
Yeah,
Rev it up or something like.
Rev it down.
Rev it down.
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
rev it around.
Oh my
Town.
god, that would be amazing, dude. What's "Smile for Me"? Who's the song about? Is it about the same gal?
No, it's not. So "Smile for Me" is more about like I watched this movie called this sounds so corny. Okay, it's called A Marriage Story, and it's
Is it a recent movie?
Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson.
Great actor,
Isn't it?
dude.
But it's yes,
Yeah.
and it's all about like a marriage that just like sucks, and like all the joy sucked out of it. So I'm like, okay, I'll write a song about that, and it got some attention from a very specific audience.
What audience?
Middle-aged women in Brazil.
What?
Yeah, at last. finally tapped into the market.
Did you mean to even tap into that market?
No, it started playing on the radio there, and so 99.5% of my DMs are
From Brazil? Read me some, dude. I'm curious.
Well, I just
dude.
want to show you that. I'll just
it.
I'll just show you a general picture and message.
Okay, you don't have to. Yeah, we'll keep their anonymity. Everything's fine.
Okay, here we go. We'll just take this one, top one. I don't know what that means. I think it's Brazilian or it's Portuguese.
Oi.
Yes, middle. That was the top. That's the top one I showed you.
Oi.
No, and
can you look? Can you look that up, man? You got a phone?
Yeah.
Say
Here,
what
we'll
does
s- we'll
OI mean?
we'll scroll down and we'll just pick. Here we go. This one, okay, random one. And what does she look like? The exact same gal.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm straight.
Huh?
Hi.
Oh, it means hi. She's just being friendly.
I thought it meant yes.
Yeah.
Or that's
no.
we.
Oh, we. That's French, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is Brazil, man. This is Portuguese, right? So oi in that means hi. They love your songs, man.
Yeah.
Are
yeah.
you? When's the tour in Brazil?
I don't know, man. I mean, like, I'm down.
Yeah.
I think there's just gonna be a lot of groping down there. With
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think they're a great audience.
Yeah.
They don't know what I'm saying, and but like
How do you know that? Oh,
no, because
but they
I'll,
like
I'll
your
po-
they like the vibes of the music
Well, no,
and
no.
your voice, man.
I'll be like I'll post like a story and I'll be
Yeah.
like oh I love my my uncle passed away, I love it, blah 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 blah, and the response is like oi. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they don't have like any idea what I just
Oh, they don't. Oh, but they
Yeah.
just want you, man.
said. Yeah, they want that young dick.
So Sony, let's make that happen.
Or yeah,
You want that young American wiener in Brazil.
you know the old Sacramento.
Book Colton for a whole
Rio
maybe
de Janeiro or
regional
something?
Brazilian regional concert there.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're great
You
fans.
might be bigger than you think. You might be huge out there.
It's doing well out there.
That's
man.
what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, but it's like weird because like if I'm telling my dad's like, hey man, like my friends don't know about it. I'm like, Dad, if you took a little trip,
Women in Brazil do.
if you took a trip down to Brazil and you went into the old, I don't know, what do they do? Bingo, the
Yeah.
bingo facility or the bingo community, they might know. It's a 1 in 10.
Why do you think
chance.
it's middle-aged women in Brazil? I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's something I go to sleep thinking about. Yeah.
I mean, it's just so random.
Well, it's like
Why them?
it's like they spread it to the world. They're like, your community, 50-year-old gals in Brazil. It's like
Yeah.
I've tried trying to figure it out.
Maybe you speak to their soul somehow. You know, something resonates. You know, I don't know. That's kind of odd,
Colin
right?
Bodine doesn't have
Yeah.
any of that fucking
Right.
shit.
Would you rather have middle-aged Korean women in Seoul, Korea, or Brazil? To be honest,
They
like just have like Asian, middle-aged Asian women like in Tokyo
I
or
would
Seoul.
love Korean women
Yeah.
for sure. Sorry. Okay.
Would you marry a Korean woman?
Yes. So I'm sorry in advance for smelling like meat. We just came back. We just came here from
I
like
love
2
the way you
hours
smell.
of Korean barbecue.
I love the way you smell.
We
It's
just
fine.
can't-
And it smells like home.
We literally just came back from having like some tadupagi.
Yeah.
And some
Okay.
fucking, like yeah.
So you like the barbecue?
I'm obsessed with Korean barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah. It's way too good. And it's
Speaking
all
of
you can eat.
barbecue, but don't. I mean, you probably got some good barbecue growing up, right?
Yeah. I mean, no.
No.
I mean, well, I don't know. Like I had like my mom. She's a great cook.
Yeah.
But she's always making like just beans, man.
Oh, there ain't nothing wrong with beans.
There's nothing wrong with beans.
Yeah.
But I want some proteins. I want some
protein?
meat.
Oh, right, but beans have protein. Yeah.
That's her argument.
there
and
you
I'm
go.
like, well, I don't want potatoes and beans. I want like a
Yeah.
burger or like a steak.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So,
So,
can,
yeah.
can we send a message to your mom right now?
Just make like I love beans and you, but just can we just have a tri-tip every now and then?
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to the old
There you go. There you go.
yeah, family reunion.
Colton, I want to get back on your the music thing. So when did you start like recording with Sony and putting out like albums and tours
So
and all
that's when I started. So when Aaron liked my my stuff, we started recording it, and then we showed it to them, and they liked it, and they put it out, and then it started going on some shows and like Netflix stuff, and it started getting some momentum, And then it got me enough momentum to be able to come here, which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
This is really weird.
Being
man.
in here?
Yeah,
Man, this is a little studio apartment.
But like,
come on,
and
man.
I'm not trying to like be like on your dick, but
Yeah.
like when I jog, I turn on your show.
You really?
Yes.
Colton, that means a
Well,
lot.
no,
Thank you, brother.
but like the fact that I'm seeing this from
This is-
not there is just really
this
weird.
is very
for me.
impulsive. I did this just because I am like, I'm gonna do a podcast. And
I've never done a podcast, man.
Really?
I'd never done it so much
You
that I
heard
googled.
it, you heard it first at the Steebee Weebee Show. We
Yeah.
love all artists, all genres of music.
Yeah.
Country, ravers.
But not Colin Bodine.
But Colin, you're never welcome here.
You dick.
Okay, you're never welcome. Only Colton is.
No, nor
and,
is your
and
Volvo.
Colton's fans.
Yeah.
And Colton's musician friends. Yeah?
I actually Googled what because I was like, yeah, man, podcast. And I, was like,
Yeah.
and I Googled it because I'm like, well, why is it called a podcast? Do you know why it's called a podcast?
I have no idea.
Because the first podcasts were a broadcast from an iPod.
What?
It was an Apple made up this like for Apple Music.
What?
They made a broadcast like stuff like Ricky Gervais show and stuff like. They made it exclusive. They started having like their first podcast, an iPod broadcast.
That's interesting, man. Yeah. I thought it was due to like because of Rogan or something because he's the man.
Dude, it was like a term that came out. Or I only know this because I looked this up 5 minutes before I came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you? I mean, would that be something that you would be into? Is doing like a Joe Rogan or something like that?
I mean, I would love to do really anything having to do with it. The craziest thing, man, is like I was not doing anything having to do with music. I never even thought I'd get to like have a song that was moderately liked by Lenora from Brazil.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's insane, dude.
but so the fact that I actually get to do really anything having to do with music or anything
It's amazing.
is so nice.
Yeah.
Because I was cleaning up poop, man. No, it's just like, do you know how much horses poop?
You were cleaning up horse shit?
It's a crazy amount.
Does it smell like human shit?
No, it smells
It's got
like
a distinct smell, huh?
it's better than human poop. Better.
But it's thick. How big are the logs that are coming out of the horse's butt?
It's not logs. It looks like a bunch of fucking pool
Hay?
balls, man.
Oh, they're balls?
It's just balls.
So their feces is shaped like
Like
meatballs.
Like meatballs.
So they're like big balls coming out of their butt.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know,
that was your job. You had to clean up the horse
it's
shit.
called cleaning stalls.
You had to clean up horse poo.
So the fact that, and that's fine, but the fact that
Yeah, I told her to timestamp.
yeah, timestamp that.
But look where you're at now, man. You're drinking Bud Lights. You're
love Bud
sponsored by Budweiser. You're on Sony. Come on, dude. You're living the dream, brother. You're living the dream.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm just so happy
Yeah.
to be here.
Now, what was it like when you saw, when you held your album or you heard it, your music somewhere or on the radio or wherever, and you're like, whoa, I can't believe.
I think it's really nice, man. I think it's my favorite part about it is that my dad got to hear it on the radio on accident. It's one thing to tell him to tune in, be like, hey man, like,
Yeah.
meh. And my dad's really hard to please.
Yeah.
So he heard it on the radio because he was already listening to that radio station
Yeah.
that came on.
What radio station is it?
It's 105.1 in Sac.
Oh, up there. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he heard it, and I was just like, yes. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, like that was my main goal.
Yeah.
So that happened, and he was just like, good job. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And so everything after that's just been a bonus round.
Oh
So
my
I'm just
God.
in bonus round. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know when Mario Kart, did you ever play Mario Kart?
Oh yeah, I grew up with that.
So
yeah.
that, like,
well, just like the OG one, the original one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I have a gift for you. I want to talk about in a sec.
What,
But there's
what,
this
you
like
brought something?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
break it out, dude. Don't have me wait. Do you have it here?
I have it right here.
Okay.
No, this isn't like my heart. I actually
Okay.
have it in this pocket. Like
Okay. What's going on there, dude?
But yeah, it's cool. So
Okay.
have you ever heard of Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like Pokemon cards?
Yeah, Jeremiah just was into that, and he was trying to get me into it. But like, oh, you brought me a Pokemon card?
This is the top Pokemon card.
Thank you, dude.
That's the Rainbow Charizard.
Charizard.
Dude, that's crazy.
Whoa, thank you so much. Jeremiah is gonna be so jealous.
So the new
If I show this to Jeremiah, because he understands this,
he'd like it.
would he flip out?
He'd really like it.
'Cause I
Look
see
at-
him next
look
week.
At, look at it.
I mean, dude, that's beautiful.
That's a rainbow
Explosive
Charizard.
fire.
So it's from the newest set that just came out. And
what
I
is it?
collect-
What is this Charizard thing? I mean, so he's a dragon, or what's going on?
Yeah,
here?
he is. But basically, he's the top. So okay. There's a huge like nerd aspect.
I didn't know that you had these nerd elements, but I love it.
My big brother's
'Cause-
1000% nerds.
Okay.
And so the only time he interacted with me
Thank
is
you,
if I was
Dylan.
playing
Put this
like.
up here. Thank you.
Yeah.
So you grew up how you grew up with what toys or video games? Like how are you nerding out?
No, so my big brother was very, very nerdy.
Like in what ways?
Like he just wouldn't leave the room. He'd always play World of Warcraft. Yeah. I love you, Brent, but you never fucking left your room.
Oh my god!
And I'd always be like, "Hey man, you want to smoke?" And he's like, "Not now. I'm on a
he
mission."
talked like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
so
was
he's
always
a real nerd.
But he was the kind of nerd that was always like cold.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, it's cold," and you're like, "It's not cold." He's like always like needing like a blankie. Like he was like a fragile, and he's always like under the weather.
Yeah.
So his name's Brent. We called him B, but we called him like Sickly B.
What's he do? Is he a programmer now? What?
He is a programmer,
See what I'm saying, dude? How did
and he lives in Seattle,
see what I'm saying?
where he's cold.
Yeah.
But there's all these pictures, like family pictures, and it's just like my dad, and then like my mom or whatever, and then like me, and then my brother in the background, just like
Is he married? Like,
weeping.
What was his dating like? Didn't he have a hard time getting dates? and stuff?
He now has this like big dick energy because he's like a pro. He's like doing one. He works at Microsoft.
So he's got that nerd.
Well, he's got like
beta
nerd flex,
alpha thing.
which you see in NorCal now.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, nerds were like, But then there's that shift where they're just like it's all paying off now.
Yeah.
And they're like, look at my Lamborghini. And you're just
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ.
So he's smart. If he knows how to program and all that. So he got into it.
Infinitely smarter than me. I still don't really understand how Wi-Fi works. I know it's around.
Yeah, but he understands that.
We set mine up.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
Can we give him a shout out real quick? What's your brother's name?
Brent B.
So shout out to Brent.
Yeah, shout out
Brent
B.
Graves.
He's probably too busy playing Rocket League or World
So
of
did you
Warcraft.
grow up with video games?
So this is what I'm talking about. So the
We
only
were talking earlier before we started filming about like Fallout and Skyrim, and then what's that one? Elden Ring. Do you play RPGs? Like
no,
those
I play
RPGs?
Super Smash Bros.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you nerd out on that.
Right. Well, the only time I could relate to my brother was when we were playing video games, because he was like, I don't want any part of that.
You guys got competitive.
Yeah. Well, my brother's never like this. He's more like he's
no,
always
no.
Look,
Me
he's,
and my brother, we would fight over it.
But my brother's always like mildly ill in his head.
I'm sick.
He's like, I think I sprained it. You're like,
feel
you didn't
crazy.
sprain it. Yeah, but like
You
the
win.
only time he'd get along with me is when we'd play video games. So that's when I got into and collecting Pokemon cards.
Yes.
So I'd be like, okay, like I got a Pikachu, and he's just like, you're all right, man. And I'm like, I'm all right, you know.
Oh my god.
So I started getting into it more, and then I just kept doing it and spending way too much money on Pokemon cards.
Where do you get these beautiful cards?
Okay, so a fun fact, and I'm not trying to plug anything,
Yeah,
but
no. I want you to plug whatever you want to plug.
there's this thing called OfferUp, and it's an app. You guys heard of OfferUp? And there's all these nerds that go in to buy, because if you try to buy a pack of Pokemon cards from like Walmart, everyone gets there like before.
I want to see a nerd fight over Pokemon cards.
Dude, there's
Oh my
fights.
God.
What's more like,
I was here first, man.
yeah, it's more like pushes maybe, yeah. But OfferUp has all these cool stuff, so I always like get them from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's from the newest set, and it's
Thank
really
you, dude.
cool.
Yeah.
And I hope you
So
like it.
is this like, I'm trying to understand the way Jeremiah was explaining to me. They're like kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. They're like there's certain characters that like have certain qualities or
Yeah,
you know?
that's the coolest one apparently. I agree, but I also like this one called Jigglypuff. He's really cute.
How many different Pokemon characters are there?
Well, great question.
Can you write down Pokemon? Because yeah.
So there's
I wanna
100
give Pokemon a shout out. Okay.
There's 152 in the first
Yeah.
series, and now we're up to
900. So what makes one Pokemon card rarer than the next Pokemon card?
people.
They put value on it?
Yeah,
Oh, they set the market.
they said it.
Like, this is the cool one, man, because this one could breathe out fire and
Yeah.
ice.
yeah,
Like it's
Pikachu's like the people one everyone knows.
yeah.
But, like,
that's the one everyone knows.
But Pikachu can just like
take a hike.
you just go. You
Okay,
know.
gotcha.
Charizard's the main one.
Charizard. What makes Charizard more cooler than Pikachu?
I mean, personally, Pikachu just looks like a little mouse, but Charizard's like a dragon that you can like ride on. He can just like fuck people up.
Explosive fire.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
right?
there's 100 more damage.
Yeah, so he's just like a cool.
So there's
dude.
attack points. There's hit points on this.
Mhm.
So it's like D&D.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but to be honest, man,
With magic.
the whole reason that's the most rare one in the deck.
Dude, this conversation went to nerd court.
Very
This is the last thing I thought we'd talk about is Pokemon cards. I was gonna be like, when's your next world tour, man?
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd bring this out of your pocket.
Yeah, I almost didn't. I was like, all right.
It's okay, dude.
Like,
Well, dude,
hide
I'm
it.
a nerd. I'm a
Yeah.
nerd too.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd, dude. When no one's around, I'm doing nerd shit.
All right, good.
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I do
the
nerd
the
shit.
only the
Yeah,
only
I'm a nerd.
reason that's the main one is because people make it the main one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and it's really fucking sweet,
Okay.
and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you were, I mean, I may ask my intern, like, if you see an older man talking about Pokemon, is that like a turn off? Like what?
Older man?
Like, or just men in general?
Oh, like not a boy.
Like, if not a boy, yeah. Is that if like
It's better than NFTs.
better than NFTs, brother? Better than NFTs. There you go, dude. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other games, man? Since you brought up the nerd stuff, like what other nerd things are you into?
Oh.
I love.
Do
nerd.
we want to go down that?
I'll
road?
go down however far you want to go down. I'll go.
I like
down
anime
with
a lot. I like this show called Demon Slayer.
you. Animation.
Yeah.
You're a dude, man.
He's like my bad influence on like being a
my-
complete
he nerds
nerd.
you out, man.
I like Super Smash Bros. I like Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings. That's my favorite.
Oh, dude, I own the box. I have DVDs of Lord of the Rings. Fire.
Yeah, extended edition?
Somewhere around here, I have a whole box of DVDs.
Yeah,
DVDs.
I love
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is probably my
I
favorite
love
film
it, man.
franchise.
The orcs, man. I love just the way they
Well,
talk, man.
there's one part in Lord of the Rings 2, and they're just like,
It looks like meat's back on the menu.
so they have menus, man.
No, but that line just
Wait,
stood
so
out to me.
But so they have restaurants?
No, but that
No, I
whoever
know.
the writer was.
No. But I'm saying like they're like looks like meat's back on the menu.
Yeah, but you
and
know
then
what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, because what's when they tear up that one that's trying
Yeah.
to eat the hobbits?
Yeah, exactly.
But the fact that an orc said that means
Yeah.
that they're accustomed to menus, which
or they're
ma-
accustomed to eating
no.
flesh.
But
human...
the fact that he knew what a menu was means that orcs have little orc restaurants and they have little menus.
I mean, in a literal sense, I thought he meant. Dude, he's analyzing it way too much.
No, it's like
He
if you
meant it
you bring
like-
up a
It
menu,
looks
it's like
meat's back
on
like-
the menu,
but-
boys.
but not like a literal menu.
But how would that orc know what the fucking menu
I have
is?
no idea, but I
Because
love that
they
scene.
have little bed and
I love
breakfasts
that scene.
with little orc, like
Yeah.
you know.
I love the way I don't know, man. I like the way they talk. They had the accent, like kind of like they sounded kind of like Australian, you know.
New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand or whatever. But
That's where they filmed it.
Yeah,
Fantastic films, dude.
I love those movies, man.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so if you had like, let's say you're at like a 7-Eleven, okay,
I'm there all the time.
and I'm sure, like, I know you've answered this in like a lot of your podcasts because I creep on your shit
Yeah.
all the time. But let's say you're at a 7-Eleven, okay? You're at the checkout stand. Some dude comes out and he's like, gun. He's just like, what's your 5 movies that you like the most? And you have to answer it like right off the bat, like literally right now. What would you say?
We just did this last week. I could do it. Taxi Driver, Pulp Fiction, No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, and The Exorcist.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did just do that last
I
time.
could go on and on. I mean, even like just John Hughes films, Some Kind of Wonderful, 16 Candles,
16 Candles
Weird
is so
Science.
great.
Oh, back to the nerds. This is not John Hughes, but Revenge of the Nerds. Nerds! Revenge of the Nerds. Have you seen that movie?
Of course.
The Lambdas?
Well, I saw the first one. I didn't really
Yeah.
care for the other 8.
But the second one had an Asian dude. Was he? There was Booger. Was in the first one, but he finds his master Snotty. Yeah.
Well, dude, in 16 Candles, there's Long Duck Dong.
Oh man, you had to bring up 16.
Long Duck Dong.
I
dude.
own that movie.
Dude, that movie's
Great.
fucking classic. Molly Ringwald's from
Molly Ringwald
She's from
was
Sacramento,
a
dude.
babe.
She's from Sac.
Describe to the viewers and listener who Molly Ringwald was in all those movies back then.
Smoking hot redhead
The
chick.
Breakfast Club. Was she in Pretty
in Pink?
Pretty in Pink. All those movies. 16 Candles.
Yeah,
She was on top of her game.
she was.
Yeah. Eric Stoltz, and I brought him up last week, but I'll give him a shout out too. I love all those movies. But what are your 5 then? If I had a switchblade to your neck or something, whatever you're
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
It's a really good British film.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'd have to do this movie called Rear Window. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie with Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly, who's she was so hot that
I
she
can't
got
believe you
married.
know that. This is before your time. But
Rear Window got remade as Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf. It's like a knockoff. I would do Saving Private Ryan.
damn good movie. Ooh, God, that hurts because that's the one I wanted to say too.
Yeah, I like
I love
Snatch.
Yes.
Guy Ritchie movie Snatch with Brad Pitt. Very good.
Yeah.
And then my fifth would probably be I'm excluding Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings because that's just like in a different category.
Yeah.
I would say my fifth is
Oh, the blades. It's like I'm drawing blood at this
yeah.
point. The next, I mean, it's like right
fuck.
there. Dude.
Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, Leonardo.
Well, it's a true
DiCaprio.
story
Yeah.
about Frank Abagnale. That guy was like the biggest con man ever. Like the dude, but he's really smart.
Well, you kind of have to be smart to be a con man.
He's so smart that he studied for his bar exam in like
Yeah.
Louisiana for a week
Yeah.
to pretend that he was like a lawyer, and he passed the bar exam in studying for a week. Like that guy's very,
That's
very
interesting. You
smart.
know, that interests me because, like, I've been listening to a lot of Sword and Scale. You know, that podcast about those like crazy murders and whatever. And I'm thinking, like, these people that do these things, like killing their whole family, like, you have to. I mean,
Like Dahmer.
well, yeah, it's like that type of thing. It's like they have no empathy. Like, so does a con man have empathy? Can they empathize, or you can't? Right?
Like, what do I think?
Yeah, what do you think about that? They can't
No,
have empathy.
I think
In
that
order to fuck people over like that or kill them, I mean, you kind of have to be a certain way.
I think Frank Abagnale was just really smart at cutting corners.
But he fucked people over, though.
Oh no, he
didn't
did.
See,
I
that's
think
what I'm
there's
saying.
definitely a sociopathic thing.
Yeah,
there,
that's what I meant. Sociopathic. Yeah, it's just like
but
this.
I think that he. Yeah, no, there definitely is a common thread there.
Yeah.
But I think that you can't ignore like how smart he was.
Have you gone that in your mind where you rage out and you think of murderous thoughts?
I'm obsessed with the weird thing. I think that like I do really like serial killer shit,
I do too. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with it.
and I like trying to understand
Me
what
too.
they're doing.
Me too. A lot of it, what I've heard as of lately, because I listen religiously. Like I fall asleep to them. I'm like, there's a moment where they just black out, where something else takes over before they do the act.
It's that bottom urge.
Yeah, man. Or they black out, and then the next thing you know, the people are dead around them, and they just have this moment.
Well, if I'm
where they lose control.
right now, I'm getting my master's in psychology, right?
Dude. That's
So,
great.
but
That's
I'm
great. I love
I'm
that
really
stuff.
trying to, and the only reason I'm doing it is I'm half Native American, so I get it for free. So,
Okay, there you
so
go.
while I'm doing music, I can just go to the school and just like, learn
And
about serial
and
killers.
learn about the
Right.
stuff you're interested in.
So with Dahmer, the thing with Dahmer is he was this like gay dude that like wasn't really like comfortable being gay, right?
yeah.
And his mom took off when he was little, so there's this whole like abandonment thing, right?
There's always something like that in their
There's
history.
always some,
There's
like,
always
childhood
some kind
thing.
of dysfunction, right? Yeah.
So when he was like his first time he killed someone, he had like his first like gay experience, and then that dude, he's like a hitchhiker he picked up, and then that dude like he's like, okay, it's time for me to leave, and Dahmer's like, oh, I don't want you to ever leave.
abandonment issues.
And so then he killed him, and then he took his skull, and he carried the bones around of his victims with him because he's like, I don't want any of these people ever leaving me, and that was his way of keeping them around.
Oh my god.
So like studying that shit, you're left with like, okay, it doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense when you study it.
right.
'Cause
To
it's-
see where they're coming from.
Well, it's like it seems like an exaggerated version of abandonment. It seems like serial killers have the same issues as a lot of people do. I have a shit ton of issues.
Oh, dude, if I snapped or red zoned, I would have been state champ in California.
Nice, exactly. But it's
Yeah.
like what?
It was that rageful. I would have just blacked out.
But I feel like
Yeah.
serial killers, their reaction is just like this other, like they have
Yeah.
the same emotions, but they take it to like a different level, man. you know?
Yeah.
And that's why they're so fascinating.
Yeah, I listened to this one Sword and Scale where this kid growing up, he had sisters, but he was the only son. The mom used to make this kid sleep in the basement in the dark. So he used to describe what it was like having to walk down there in that cold basement, and it was dark, and he had to turn on one light to walk to the other end of the room. I mean, this kid was literally just scared.
Trauma.
Yeah, man. He ended up murdered, like just
Trauma-based,
killing his
man.
mom when he got older. Like it's things like that where you're like, wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's that guy had a fucked up thing, but like serial killers are the people that like do what you're thinking. Like,
Oh yeah, we
like
think
we always thought like,
well,
that's
everyone
fucked up.
thinks these things, right? We don't
right.
react and we
Someone
don't take
cuts you off
action.
on the 405
wanna-
and you're just like, fuck that guy, I want to fucking kill him.
Yeah, but you don't.
Serial killers are like, I'm gonna
I'm
kill
gonna
him.
do it.
I'm gonna follow him home.
See that there's a huge difference.
Exactly.
There's a huge
But that's
difference.
the 1%. But the craziest thing that I learned that I've been learning because my mentor, his name's Dr. Albert Ernquist.
Okay.
He's not watching this, but
But
love
he
you.
will.
And he was the psychologist for the Manson family murders.
I was fascinated with Charles Manson.
So
Yeah.
the girls and techs that got arrested, his job was to psychoanalyze them in prison and find out what they're doing.
The
right?
Manson women.
for
girls?
Sharon Tate
Yeah,
murders.
yeah, Sharon
the
Tate,
girls
yeah.
and the dude.
Well, the thing about Charles Manson, he was charismatic as well.
He was like a Hitler type situation.
But then he was a music,
he had
You heard that thing about the Beach Boys, like how
dude, yeah. He
Charles
partied
Manson,
with them.
Yeah, so Charles Manson would met with the Beach Boys, and then he wanted to submit a song to him, but they dissed him or
No,
something.
he would hang out. He hung out
Yeah,
at was it
this
like
is
Brian
real.
Wilson's house?
Yeah, and then he thought he would be the next guy up.
He used to bring Charles Manson used to bring all these just babes with him to Brian Wilson's house, and they would jam. And Charles was like, "I want to get on a song,"
I mean-
and Brian Wilson's like, "Yo, stay here. Let's smoke some pot. Let's do it."
Yeah.
And
Hey,
then
play me
after
a
a couple
song.
weeks, he was just like, "These guys gotta fucking leave, man.
Yeah.
they're fucking weird." He
But
slept with his-
but he used to write songs too, Charles Manson.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he also had that other fucking the cult thing going on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Brian Wilson's like, fuck no. And so that situation is a crazy story if you look into it.
Are you
dude.
inspired by the Beach Boys at all? Pet Sounds was a damn good album.
I mean, when
Pet Sounds, dude.
I
one of
like
the
their
top-
songs. I like their songs.
Yeah, top 100 albums ever.
Those guys could hit the high notes.
Oh yeah.
I think they invented high
What
notes.
was their kids? Oh, don't worry, babe. All those. Yeah.
Yeah.
God Only Knows. That's a great song. Great
Yeah.
songwriting. Yeah.
But so going back to the dude that who's the guy that did the
Mm-hmm.
Manson murder. So what I found out is with serial killers, everyone kind of thinks they just died off in the 90s.
No, they're around, dude.
So what's actually going on is there's a legal act where if there's a serial killer, they're not allowed to publicize it because that will glorify it and that gives the serial killers what they want.
Oh, they want the attention.
A lot of times.
It's like the Riddler. They
It's like
want
the Riddler.
They
It's like
want,
the movie
yeah,
Seven. Remember
yeah,
Seven?
Yeah, great
But-
movie by the way.
But the thing is when everyone's like, oh yeah, Dahmer, all these people in the 90s, and they're like, oh, because we haven't. Okay, who's the last serial killer you've heard of? Back in the day. Right. So
Ramirez, Richard Ramirez.
maybe Zodiac
yeah.
dude, whatever.
Zodiac,
Yeah. That's all back in the day. The whole point is there's that act going on, and when the police forces are doing metaphorical push-ups to get better at it, the bad guys are doing twice as many push-ups.
Oh, yeah.
They're still around. They're just
They're dormant right now.
they're way better. They're just way better at getting away from it.
Yeah.
They're way better at getting away with it than they were.
You
And-
think technology helps them in a way? I
dude,
just
there's
thought
the
of that.
dark web. There's all
Right,
these
right,
things,
right.
and it's not that they're gone. It's that we just don't see them, and that's the creepiest part of what I'm studying is
That's great. You're studying that.
well, it's
I mean,
so
you're interested in it.
It's
That's
so
why.
interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
The last thing I thought we'd talk about is serial killers with you.
really?
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about
Yeah.
your country songs,
riding
and
horses.
your next tour, horses, something. And then you're like, you know what? This Pokemon card or serial killers. The time we reached an hour. I want to get back to. I want to plug all your stuff right now. Where could people download your album? Best support you as an artist.
I mean, it's yeah, just check out my name. There's songs attached to them and stuff. It was just so fun to be able to come on here.
Dude,
with
you have a great name, by the way. I'm jealous of your name.
Colton Graves.
Colton is a
Yeah, it sounds like I
Colton
should-
is a damn good Colt 45. Yeah,
Thank
Colt.
you,
You
man.
know what I mean? Just a great name.
Yeah, I mean,
Colton Graves, ladies and gentlemen. COLTON GRAVES. Colton Graves. When's your next album? Are you working on something new? Like,
Yeah,
what's
we're
going
working
on?
on some stuff that's coming out in a couple months.
Okay, so how are people gonna check? Are you gonna
Yeah.
plug it or?
I mean, if you want to listen to some country music,
Yeah.
cool. It's coming out soon. I already have some songs.
And the Brazilian tour is coming soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies. Yeah.
Are you on Spotify?
There's Spotify and YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah. Hey man, don't talk down. We're trying to raise
Oh,
this
right,
up,
right,
man.
right. Yeah,
Go
check
to
it out.
YouTube
Yeah,
and check
It's-
out the 2 videos on your channel, Higher and Smile for Me.
Mhm.
Okay? Check those out.
And the album's on like Spotify and stuff.
Yeah,
It's fine.
dude.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. And then the next tour, get a ticket. Hey, man, can I get a ticket to one of your concerts?
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Well, you still got to get.
I want to go to
You
the
gotta-
tour. So tell them what we were about to do. This is so cool. I didn't expect this.
So,
you said I could do a tour of
He
Sony.
needs to. Yeah, I want him to come and like make. Just come get a tour, check out the studios, and make some jams, dude.
I mean,
It'll be fun.
I know this weird, short Korean cowboy guy named Raymond. And
we know Raymond.
Sometimes he pops down like Santa Claus in here,
Yeah.
and he harasses me.
We've
and
seen
he
the footage,
and he
yeah.
threatens me. Can Raymond visit Sony Studios?
Yeah, he just has to sneak in for sure, dude.
You
Yeah.
have to sneak him in.
Yeah, we had to sneak. We had
What
to
if I
smuggle
hold
him
on? What if I pep talk him and I go, Raymond, like this is a serious situation. You're gonna have to be on your best manners.
Yeah, then it'll be chill.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll
right?
get him in there. Yeah.
You'll give him a pass.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Check out Colton Graves today. Music videos, future albums. Do you want to plug? Don't you have an EP out right now?
Yeah, there's an
Well,
EP
what's
out
the name
there.
of your EP?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Come
something
on,
there.
Colton. Let's get with it, man.
Smile for me.
Smile
Yeah.
for me,
Probably.
EP.
Yeah, that's the name.
Okay.
Check it out.
dude. That was easy, right?
Yeah.
Man, you're always welcome. Again, our first country artist on the Steebee Weebee Show. Okay? That's monumental. That's monumental. If you want to help support the platform, go to patreon.com/SteebeeWeebee, SteebeeWeebeeShow.com, Bandcamp, SteebeeWeebeeBandcamp.com. Oh, Scissor Brothers. I have another podcast called Scissor
Great
Brothers
show, dude.
with comedian Jeremiah Watkins.
Jeremiah's the man.
He's the man. Okay? Those episodes drop every Friday. I think I could announce this. We're about to do a summer camp where we're going to be like the counselors in Seattle.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to do this. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be groundbreaking stuff. Yeah, so we'll be announcing that shortly, all right, on our social medias. We're going to do this guy that owns a camp invited us to do a camp.
Like an actual summer camp.
Yeah, like a real. Oh, this camp is for people they're trying to quit technology, so they can't bring their phones and stuff like. Yeah. So we'll make those announcements shortly. If you want to send any packages or mail or anything, send your stuff to 1425 North Cherokee Avenue, PO Box 1391, LA, California 90093. It was an honor having you. My buddy Skip is a trip, feeling blue like a crib. Framed for robbing a bank, letting loose from the hip. He really couldn't predict this script was so full of angst. Him and Henry Woodpeckers did a song that danced that big. Oh, rodeo man in the West, you can. You're the best on the land to bless the sands. To the pool with your hand, oh Skip, you can. Get that fucking bull, pull on that rope. Feeling still crazy, maintaining against the grain. Making me wanna get in a plane. The pain inside my brain never ends sustain. I'm down for the count on the ground freight train. Living today, don't give it away. They're preaching the praise, the raise. Shining it down to mightiest crowns, the finest of frowns delayed. Skippy's afraid, he feels betrayed. Live this way, can deal with shade. A spade is a spade, he made the grade displayed in a charade of pain. I am not a man, I am an animal of male. I live by maritime, the law of water about to sail. Where my mother had me, I slipped out of her canal. What you call a sailing ship is named after a female. Oh, you're a cheater with a pen. We're friends to ink your book away. A